Good evening, team. Good evening, coaches. We are, and good evening, everyone. We are the Changepreneurs. We're a team of coaches from around the world, and we bring conversations that spark change. So, hello, team, and it's wonderful catching up with
So,
you all on this platform. So, just as we start, I would like to read a few lines from this poetry by Khalil Gibran. He was a Lebanese poet, and this is uh, from his book called The Prophet. It talks about time. So it goes like this: You would measure time, the measureless and the immeasurable. You would adjust your conduct and even direct the course of your spirit according to hours and seasons. Of time, you would make a stream, upon whose bank you would sit and watch the flowing. Yet, the timeless in you is aware of life's timelessness and knows that yesterday is but today's memory, and tomorrow is today's dream. So, with that, let me start and ask you, dearest coaches, what is today's memory? Or rather, what has been your learning in 2024? Let me start with you, Sunil.
my learning in 2024, the 2024 was a fascinating year. So I started off with starting off the whole business angle of becoming a coach, becoming a mentor coach. A lot of very interesting aspects happened. I did my first ever poetry solo. Did one something after 13 years of being into writing, and I finally found courage to say, you know what, I've written so many poems, I can actually do a 90-minute show. So I did that. I experimented with stand-up comedy for the first time in my life. I did 3 5-minute slots, out of which possibly around people laughed about 3 times in 15 minutes maximum. So I still had a fascinating time. And yeah, I think the end of the year was an adventure in itself. For me, the aspect of 2024 was to actually experiment without, you know, really being bothered. Am I going to, fail, pass, etc., etc. But to experiment and see where it goes. So that was the most absolute fascinating way of learning. And if I feel I should do it, I should do it. Trust my gut and trust my instincts. So even if everybody keeps saying I don't think it'll work out, just do it. So not stealing anything from Nike here, but just do it. That was it.
Fantastic, fantastic. So go with the flow seems to be your mantra. And what about you, Bianca?
My biggest learning from 2024?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can't have the whole episode be about me talking about my biggest learning. So I'm going to try to keep it brief because last year was a big transformational year for me. If I think back to what maybe all of the things I experienced have in common, I think a lot of it is about cultivating the character that allows me to trust in what life is presenting me. So maybe a big learning about having faith in the process of life unfolding. There's so many times that myself personally and my clients have been in situations where there's just certain things we just cannot control, and there are certain things we just cannot change. And you still have to live your life. You still have to go through your days. You still have to wake up and eat breakfast and brush your teeth and take care of yourself. And so I think a lot of my learning from 2024 has been really witnessing my ability to put that into practice. That despite the foundations of my life possibly changing, things really just kind of taking a turn, or unexpected situations coming up that I would have never thought that I would have been in, not in my entire life, I still have to brush my teeth, and I still have to get outside, and I still have to sleep at night, and I still have to move my body. So that has been a really big learning, and it feels more like a remembrance than a learning in a way, that these are the gifts that we've been given. And I'm starting to see how it bears the fruit of peace despite so many things changing. So I think that's one of my biggest learnings from last year.
I think the words that stayed with me are faith and I think faith and trust are such powerful words, and then it helps you, grow as a person. So, Sirish, what would you say? What has been your
Yeah, it seems 24 has been very kind to all of us. This year not only gave me my calling, which is coaching, it made me actually find myself, identify myself, um, from believing that, or that I've not believing, rather, crying over all the struggles that I went through, dreams unfulfilled. I realized how kind the God was, how comfortable the struggles were, from being from having the feeling that I'm expendable for my friends, understanding that no, I'm actually dependable, which I mentioned also earlier. From realizing that, from the thought process that probably I'm not so good, and a lot of my friends were more blessed, to realizing no, I'm actually very blessed. And this year, I think, has prepared a launch pad for me to take the chances which I never took in my life. And hopefully 25 would be the year I launch. That's 24 for me. Amazing
fantastic,
year.
fantastic of you speak of gratitude and the courage to launch yourself in 2025. So all the more power to you. How about
Thank
you,
you.
Preeti?
Right. So for me, 2024 was the year of learning, volunteering, and earning. So it was a year where I wanted to learn everything. In this coaching space, there's lots to learn. There's endless learning. And I just wanted to learn everything. I just wanted to help each and every one. Lots of volunteering work. What I realized towards the end of the year is not about how much I'm doing. It is about how uh, quantity over quality. And in some ways I was actually not taking care of my body also in that place. So 2024, towards the end, the learning was, and the commitment for 2025 was more of the focused learning, more of the focused volunteering, and more of the focused earning, as well as taking care of the body at the most.
Fantastic. Taking care of body. Yay. What about you, Roshni?
So I think it was quite a year, lot of things happening. But I think the learning for me was that I learned that I just want to manifest, work towards it, and then surrender. I think that was my learning from 2024. And towards the end of it, I think also now entering 2025 with the strong intention of, despite all the things that are coming my way, the intention to slow down, very consciously slow down.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Satish?
Yeah, look, I'm deeply grateful for what we are doing today because last year, this time, it didn't exist, not even in my mind. So I understood that the fact that, I deeply resonate with what just Roshni said. You have to slow down. I did a lot of things in 2023, but I understood the power of slowing down and did nothing for extended periods of time and let my mind think about what I have to do. So that's one of the biggest lessons in 2024. And also, I was able to find a team of people who came together and start this podcast. And I also met with hundreds of interesting folks from across the world that gave me an opportunity to build my confidence to talk to somebody over Zoom or any other media, because I was not very comfortable last year around this time. And here I am today, sitting with all of you and confidently speaking. So it has been quite a year of transformation and transforming people's lives. And couple of projects I started, out of which, of course, one is this Changepreneurs podcast. And the other project that I'm passionately working on is, we have started this personal development classes in regional language. The state that I live in has a population of 80 million. So out of which about 50 million people are living in countryside and rural areas, and they don't speak English, and they don't have access to world-class personal development courses. So I'm building on something that will take the world-class personal development courses in regional language to impact hundreds of thousands of people's lives. So I will talk more about this in the due course. Um, Thank you very much for asking this question, Vanitha, and deeply grateful again.
I wish you good luck as you try your hand at impacting so many people with your personality development courses in regional language. So, just like that, Bianca, if I just asked you, who or what was the greatest influence for you in 2024?
Okay. The greatest influence. I think, honestly, the truth is God. God has been the greatest influence in my life in 2024 specifically. And the many, many ways that the power of God shows up in my life through bringing a mentor into my life that I didn't even know existed until 2024, bringing a book into my life that maybe is going to change the way that I perceive something that was previously troubling me, bringing a connection into my life that then ended up becoming an opportunity to work with a client who has also changed my life. There's all these small ways, bringing in an intuitive knowing into my life that it's worth it to wake up every day to see the sunrise. And looking back after a whole year and more of seeing sunrises and realizing that I've cultivated a habit of showing up and starting my day with the presence of the power of creation. So I think that's been the biggest influence, and I can see it and how it shows up in so many different ways through people, places, things, opportunities, books, podcasts, things like that. So that's been my biggest influence.
Gratitude to God for giving us, for bringing us all here today and expressing ourselves. So, Preeti, what do you think? What has been what has been the greatest influence for you in 2024?
Um, so definitely, like Bianca said, the God has brought us so many, so gratitude for, that so many learnings, so many opportunities to grow and self growth. That's the important one. And I'm grateful to the God for that. But I would like to share one of the experience which I had with one of the coaches. So I was coaching one very young student, and so I he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand English, and I was like, I didn't understand his language. We both didn't understand each other, but still I coached him and he reached where he wanted to. So the learning or the influence which brought from that experience is, it's not about the language. It's really about the intention. What are you intending to? My intention was to be there for him. My intention was we create that safe space for him to explore, and his intention was to grow. So the if intention is there, we don't need a language.
Beautiful.
So that's a greatest learning of 2024.
I think we all need to kind of, we all do understand the significance of non-verbal communication and just presence. As coaches, just our presence is enough to kind of motivate and influence people. So beautiful. What about you, Sirish? Who has been?
Okay, so not who, I would say what, and what would be coaching. Getting coached, go with the flow, change at that shift of that thought process. The earlier the thought process would be weighing in pros and cons, looking at things might fail, and then just take a step back and not go ahead with it because there were chances of failures. And I'll borrow Roshni's words: manifest and surrender. Don't even think about failure. So biggest influence is coaching, which has changed my mindset to positivity. With so many negative talks about going about the coaching as a profession, and I am not even once perturbed, and I think I'm not going to fail. I'm going to be one of the better coaches. So that is the shift which in the mindset which has brought in, and that is because of coaching. So coaching, I would say, has been one of the biggest influences in my life, I would say now.
Beautiful. You, Sunil?
I was hoping that I'll go last because I was like, oh, I don't think I know an answer for that. That's straight away, so polished as everything else is. But yeah, if I were to look at some of the influences and put it out there, uh, for me, one of the strongest influences was a belief in myself that whatever happens, I'm there for myself, right? So that was like it was not a easy year, 2024, but it was one of the most enjoyable years because I knew that deep down that I was doing it, enjoying what I was doing. I think that aspect never changed across the year. Uh, my belief in my ideas and the conviction in some of those uh, zara hatke or a deviated path from normalcy that I took. I knew that for me it works, and if it works for me, it works for me, and not be worried about how or what anybody else is thinking, and trust myself, 100%.
I echo with what you just said. And apart from God, like Bianca said, whatever name we give, to me, I think the greatest influence last year has been that self-awareness which I have developed. So it feels like, when I say I, it sounds so hard. But then it feels also comforting knowing that I'm able to understand. I'm able to, no matter what the challenges. I look back today and I think 2024 it was not easy. It was definitely not easy. But somewhere I just went through the flow. So I did my post graduation in psychology, which there were so many hurdles. But then it just happened because there was that self awareness which I said I could have done it in another year or something, but I said I'm going with the flow, just seeing how it all comes around. So somewhere that awareness that is developed, that has been the greatest influence. So uh, I never thought I would. I travel a lot, but I never thought I would travel to different countries over the entire year. Today, when I look back, I'm thinking, oh, did I really do that? Yes, I did that. I met different people. I held conversations, and somewhere I also was able to uh, coach. Take active participation in coaching. There were so many people who kind of I met, and they influenced me. So all these, all these was because I think somewhere that self awareness that has been kind of, it was always there, but it has been strengthened now, and that has helped me in, or that has been the greatest influence for me in 2024. So, what about you, Satish? What would you say?
Yeah, just to look back and understand, one of the best things that has ever happened to me was, you know, getting introduced to Coach Shirsad Shamin and his course on positive intelligence. I did that course for about 6 7 weeks, and when I came out, I was a transformed person. I was not a good parent. I was not a good husband, and I was not listening. But then this entire program completely changed the way I look at the world, because we normally, when we wake up in the morning, our mind immediately jumps to future or goes back to the past, and we don't normally live in the present. And this program made me realize that the present moment is a gift, and you have to be present every time. uh, Sometimes if you're thinking about future, you don't listen to the other person, and all sorts of miscommunications and all sorts of problems arise from these situations. I'm still not perfect yet. It's still a long way to go, but I have started, to consciously understand that, consciously remind myself every time I go travel to the past or future. I consciously try to bring myself to the present, and that has been a biggest influence last year. Still a work in progress, though.
I would say a big clap for the mindfulness that you've cultivated, Satish. Wonderful. Roshni?
So um I think the biggest influence has been my husband and my children. Uh, they're, I think 2024 is very solidly, I realize that just their presence and the fact that, however the circumstances around me change, they are there as a solid foundation with me, and I am there for them. um, just that gives me so much of mind space to grow and do so much with my own life. um, I think sometimes we overlook how these background supports influence us, but it's a year that I realize that importance of it, especially as a mother, as a wife, a homemaker. I have been a homemaker for a long time, so there is an instinct to go back to it and stop yourself from doing things. But I think when you have a family that supports you, like even my 6-year-old has that conviction to come and say, and I think it comes from my husband because he encourages that for the kids, that you should follow every dream you have ever seen. Like even at times when I stop myself, I think he pushes me forward. So um yeah, I think for me my family is the biggest influence of 2024.
You know, of all the blessings that we have, I think having a loving and a supportive family is the greatest blessing, I must say. These are social, not just social connections, but these are our strengths, and they help us focus on the outside. So somewhere you feel so contented, somewhere you feel so supportive that, yeah, there's so much of love. Somewhere I get so much of love and support. So bless you for that. If
Thank you.
any of you wish to, if it's not a secret, and I ask, what does 2025 hold for you? Anybody can go first. I think if it's a secret, I would let you go. But if not, if you can reveal it and share it with everyone, I invite you.
Can I
Let
go
me try it
first?
out first.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Roshni, go ahead. Go ahead.
You sure?
Go
Go
for it.
ahead.
Go for it.
Okay. So I think it's very clear in my mind. That's why I said I'll go first. I think 2025 for me is about change. And so many big changes I feel. uh, have come into my life, and I'm so excited to embrace them. I had never thought of, for example, I've lived in Mauritius for last 15 years, and definitely it's something that feels heavy on my heart when I think of leaving this place. It's been such a blessed place. But I'm so excited about this change because I have come to a space where I feel a change means something better is coming. And that is very exciting for me. And the year has brought the end of 2024. So as we are entering 2025, so many positive professional changes happened to me, my family also, and that just makes me feel like this year is all about change, and I don't know in what beautiful ways 2025 would end, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I wish you all the luck, as you start this year and embrace it with full heart. So good luck, Roshni. Sunil?
So I would like to read a poem I wrote. I think this was something that I had because you quoted Khalil Gibran. I thought I should also put my
Of
name
course.
somewhere there.
Sure.
So I think two aspects of 2025 possibly is that I'd like to get married. I'm still figuring it out who I'm trying to get married to. So that's one. So the other aspect is what the poem is all about. So it goes like this. This year we heal from large wounds, deep gashes, and apply a little mulam to old raging scars. We heal, sitting by the fire. We heal by hearing. We heal by sharing. And we heal by crying. And this is my favorite. So we heal by rewriting stories we rented in our heads. We heal slowly. We heal instantly. But somehow we just manage to heal. For we must heal to move forward, sit, pause, and then perform. A last rites to too many wounds, shipwrecks, pain, loss, and then head our way back home. This year we heal.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
I resonated with heal by crying. So I thought, yeah, crying is kind of, it's therapeutic, at least for me. So I resonated with that. What about anybody? I mean, Sunil, Shrish, Preeti, or Bianca?
That's a really beautiful poem, Sunil, I must say.
Gorgeous.
Quite motivational for everyone, I guess.
Yes, it is. So anyone
So
else
I
wants
can
to
go
share?
ahead.
Yeah, please.
So this year, 2025, as I said earlier, this is more like healing, and as Sunil also are sharing, healing definitely, taking care of the self care and be more creative. I'm a very creative person, but I've not done any creativity in 2024, and I'm missing it. So I will do that. And 2025 in the beginning, I've launched my website, and the name is Canvy. Canvy actually comes with the name of my daughters, both daughters, Chavi and Anvi. And also, it has a very deep meaning of my father's name. So it's very near to my heart because it has the name itself has the meaning of the meaning has the people in and around. So I really have to grow it. So that's the intention for the 2025. So three things: self-care, creativity, and Canvy.
I pray that your website and your new or company that you've started, Canvy, grows to great heights and creates the much needed impact in the coaching society. So anybody else wants to go?
I can.
Okay, I can go. Sorry, Bianca, go ahead.
No worries. I'll be brief, but there's something that has really been planted on my heart since last year, and it's coming to fruition this year. And I think part of the journey is also about allowing your desires to be witnessed. So I'm just going to share it. I'm creating a stress management membership community, and I've created a full stress management program that I finally decided to record and make available self-paced for people. I've got it all out of my head, and it's in a portal, and people can become a member and have on-demand 24/7 access to it. I'm also going to be supplementing that by continuing to do live events with my members twice a month, starting next month when the doors officially open. So they officially open in February. And I'm just really excited about it because I feel like I finally have found a way to channel all of the different things that I've learned and make connections to all the information that has not only helped me, but helped all of my private clients, and have it out there in the world in a way that it's more accessible and I don't have to be in a million places at once, but people can receive the benefits of what I've been blessed to experience and to learn in my life. So it's out there. I have 5 members already. I have a goal to have 100 members this year. Yes, thank you. And so, yeah, I just want to be witnessed in that because I would love to have the opportunity to continue to serve people in this way. So that's one of my biggest things for 2025.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Bianca, stress
Wonderful,
management
wonderful.
is something that is so much needed in today's world, and you are giving it to customers. And I wish there's more of you and spreading these words around, spreading it around, because it's so much needed. What about
Thank
you,
you.
Shrish? What's
Okay, so this year I would say is the year of moving forward. It's been almost 9 years. Life felt like it was just on a standstill, just moving round and round, not finding the path forward. And I think this year is going to help me, take me on a new journey. I even mentioned this in a post. I'll just read a couple of lines from there. So I had written after quoting a poem. In the quiet corners of our hearts, a new journey often takes root long before we fully recognize it. For me, this journey has been quietly forming over some time. A deep calling to step beyond the familiar, embrace growth, and create meaningful transformations in myself and others. So, this is going to be a year of lot of changes, I believe, moving forward. And like I mentioned, I replied to one of the queries questions rather, Roshni had put in. What would you define your year as? And I said, this year is, my word is unstoppable. And I sincerely believe in that. It's going to be that.
more power to you, to the unstoppable
Thank you.
Sirish?
Thank you.
Satish?
Yeah, I'm supremely excited for a couple of projects that I'm doing. One, of course, this podcast project. And of course, this is the 7th episode of Changepreneurs podcast. We did 3 episodes where we introduced our crew, and 3 episodes with a guest. And we are already hitting close to 1,000 downloads. That means
Wow.
quite a number of people have listened to us. And seriously excited for folks if they just picked up one little thing and implemented in their life, and it went on to change their lives. Not only will it change their lives, it will go ahead and change their families' lives, their friends' lives. And I'm seriously excited for what's coming ahead. We have plenty of guests lined up for this podcast, and some including some big names in India. And we are getting in quite a few people from abroad as well. I have my friend in South Africa, and there is a friend in France, and we are all bringing them. So it's going to be exciting in that sense. And by the end of 2025, I would like to see our podcast hitting at least 100,000 downloads. That's we are going to be impacting those many lives. So that gives me a good feeling. One, on the other hand, with my personal development course in the regional language, I have a similar plan like Bianca. I'm in the process of creating my course, and I have a team of 5 people, and we are doing a lot of work in terms of putting the content together. I want to touch. I'm building a community right now, and presently I have 70 members. And we can use the leverage of technology in here. In the last podcast, my mentor and guru told us all that, when he was
Sure.
doing this very hard labor job at a young 25-year-old, his guru told him to teach yoga on Sunday mornings, waking up like 4 o'clock and teach people. And something that he said has stayed with me ever since: door to door, shore to shore. So we have to take positive messages to a lot of people. And I'm seriously excited for reaching at least 100,000 people in the next 12 months. And I'm giving it a very affordable price. In dollar value, it's less than $2 for a 7-week course. And also, whatever the amount that we are going to raise from this kind of event, I am looking to feed 300,000 people this year with the money that I'm raising.
Wow.
So this is the
Wonderful.
intention. And when you have the right intention, and the universe will conspire, and it will bring the right people at the right time for me to get things going. So that's what I'm excited for.
Satish, if I just had to say, if my prayers somewhere or my blessings actually manifest, then I can say the one word in Sanskrit called Tatastu, which means so be it. That is
Okay.
what is coming up to me. I know it comes up to me. You're going to influence so many people, and you're looking to serve the larger population, the audience. I mean, it sounds so melodious to just even listen. So I think the number of people who would be influenced and benefited by this, I mean, it's magnanimous. So Tatastu, may there be good tidings everywhere. So Roshni, or anyone else? Oh, Roshni, you finished first. So any, I think we're
So Vanitha,
almost.
you can also share your aspect of what you're looking forward to 2025. So apart from being the podcast host for all of us.
Sure. So I think one of the biggest challenges or that I'm looking to overcome in 2025 is showing up myself on social media. So I have been media shy. I've always moved away. Yes, coaching sessions happen, but they're private conversations. So this year, at least by 2025, I hope to uh, kind of show myself up everywhere. This podcast was just the beginning. So I thank Satish for this. Last year we started this, and I realized that I feel comfortable in front of the camera. This is something new for me. So I'm hoping that the bigger picture for me is showing up and showing myself as a coach everywhere. So that is my plan for 2025.
Tatastu.
Thank, thank you.
Tatastu, right.
So with that said, Satish, you just brought me back to the topic of we having completed 7 episodes, 7 podcasts so far. So I'll go first, and I think the one that stayed with me from all these was the interview that you guys, you and Roshni had with Brinda. And funnily, I think I mean, you leave everything apart. I still thought it was the most funniest thing that I remember was Brinda telling that she had slapped a boy so hard. It was very fair, and she had slapped him so hard for calling her Kali Kaluti or dark skinned, and then immediately trying to wipe that, foot hand mark with something, because he had all pink, he had become pink. So that stayed with me. And also, that she said, I didn't want to, my mother said, please go and apologize. And I didn't want to apologize. So somewhere I thought, Yeah, somewhere even I have done that, wherein I've not hit anybody, but apologizing is so difficult after you've done the deed. So that kind of stayed with me. So, Sirish, what stayed with you from the
Yeah,
past
so two
six
things. Yeah,
episodes?
two things. One, uh, when she was narrating how she got the break of running the helpline, she had to wait the whole day in front of the police commissioner's office from morning till evening. And in the evening also, when he asked, are you tired? And she said, no, I'm not tired. I can do the presentation right now. I can come tomorrow also. You know, patience, resilience, and conviction. Above all, conviction in what you believe in. That was one thing that stayed with me. Um, I've been through such experiences where I had to stay, keep waiting for the officer's appointment. And I don't remember myself being this patient the way she was. I'm not feeling tired, about it. And second was something, both the episodes with Brinda and with Sir, Sunil's mentor, they were so relatable incidents. So one of that reminded me when he mentioned that Guruji said you should help people in the society. So we had a physics professor when we were in college, and we used to go to for some private tuitions to him. And as we were like in that age, or making all fun of things and everything. So I don't know how it triggered, but I remember his advice that if you want to, live a life of austerity, or maybe something like that, stay in the society, help people out, be an asset to the society. If you move away from the society, you are not asset to anything. Your duty as human being is to be part of society and work towards betterment of people. And that connection with what Sir said, and what I just recalled what my physics professor had told me, what it's got 34 35 years now, and he had that just so during the course of our life we meet so many people, and somebody says something and it stays with you, and you get learning from everywhere. So these two things I picked up the most from the both the episodes.
So, Bianca, you want to?
Sure. So one of the things that I loved, I loved listening to the episode with Aki. Is that how he calls himself?
Yes, Akhilesh. Yeah.
I loved listening to this episode. One thing that I appreciated was how he mentioned that if you sit with yourself and you just spend a few moments checking in with your body when you're with people, you will know. Your body will tell you how you feel being around those people. And if you notice that you feel uncomfortable, maybe it's an invitation to spend less time with them and to search for people to be around who want to support others and want to help others. I just thought that was so beautiful, especially because it personally touched me. That's a big part of the work that I do, is helping people to cultivate that self-awareness through their bodies. So listening to that felt really good to hear. And I appreciated the reminder, that we all have those tools. And when you realize that maybe you're in a situation that doesn't feel good, it was so simple and wise to say, just search for people who want to help people, because that will help you, right? And it might become an influence to you. You might become more of a person who wants to help people. So that stood out to me. I thought that was beautiful.
Indeed. Roshni?
Yeah, I think all three of those episodes in some way, all three had a different feel to it, the conversation itself. But I think there was an underlying theme that was kind of flowing from one into another. What Bianca told about Aki's episode to recognize what is happening within you and around you, and from Brinda's episode to know that if you believe in something, you have that awareness now that you just go ahead. No challenge is a challenge enough to stop you from doing what you want. And then from Guruji's episode to go out there and never let kindness be, um, how do I put this? Kindness be something that, you evaluate how much you are getting and then giving. You just give. It says like that those three things, are so important: to be aware, to go out and do things you believe in, and believe that what you're giving is enough. You don't have to get back, to fulfill yourself. That fulfilling is going to happen as a byproduct of all these three things that you're going to do.
Guruji was quite, because it was our blessing, I must say, Sunil and mine, to have interacted with him.
Absolutely.
So, Sunil, what stayed with you from our previous
No, I think
podcast?
you stole my words a little bit there. I think just being in Sir's presence. Whoa, that was amazing. I think if the podcast was longer for 2 hours, 3 hours, I would have happily stayed there and just sat with uh, so many of those aspects that you were saying. Why do we look at the whole aspect of India being united? His last, almost the last but one question where he went on to share so passionately about life. And I think one thing that stood out for me across all 7 episodes is the passion with which people talk about their passions, right? I think that for me has been an absolute subscription of this podcast. And if I had to, just say one thing that I think I remember Rajesh sharing about Sardarji in another country talking in a different language. I forgot what was the context, but I think that still stays for me as one of those amazingly funny incidents. And then the way he shared it, I think it was one of the most uh, memorable sort of way of looking at it. And I think Brinda's episode as well. I haven't given the entire listening to Aki's episode. Brinda's episode as well. I think the simplicity with which the conversation went and the impact that it had, even with it being very easy and very smooth, it felt almost like it is a great journey, but such a significant journey there. And also at the end of each podcast, I'm like, maybe we should have had another question, like another 10 minutes more. I think it always has left me with something like saying, hey, it's fantastic. So a lot of takeaways and maybe a lot of take-ins, right? So we always use this word called takeaway, saying, oh, I'm taking it away from where, but rather a take-in and reflecting on some of those absorption points.
Fantastic. So, takeaways being replaced by takens. I think that's a new one. I never gave it a thought. So that's fantastic. So, yeah. Preeti, anything that kind of resonated with you from our previous
Yeah.
episodes?
So last episode with the Guruji, Master and
Vishwam. Yeah.
Vishwanathan, Master Vishwanathan, he talked about that we all talked about things, but we don't take actions. He talked about uniting people. He talked about we don't take actions to unite people. Through this podcast, somewhere we are uniting people, I believe. And so that really resonated with me. Not only uniting people, but in many aspects, that taking actions. That's the key word. Taking actions. Whatever you are doing, take actions. Just if you are talking, thinking, and thinking about it that you will do it, it will not help you. So take the action. That's the my key. Another one is from all the episodes. What I found very interesting is everyone has their story, and everyone has their own unique story, and everyone wants to share those stories. They want to share that with the world, and if we hear those stories, we will have lots of take-ins with us. So um, I'm looking forward for more those stories actually.
Satish, more of narratives from people, stories, personal stories and narratives. So looks like It's going to be fun next few podcasts. So with that, we are almost at the end, and here is my quick question. So, uh, how are you feeling right now? Give me an emotion, a name for the emotion, and why you feel it. Except for happy, there are too many words in the dictionary that we can actually come up. So let me start like a fire round, and I'll start with you, Sunil. So, what is the emotion, and why are you experiencing
I think as coaches, we should not ask why. So
it? Okay, so
I'll
you
start
could
with
you
that.
could
But
do
yeah,
it.
emotions, I think, is I think a lot of excitement and curiosity, as in terms of how we take this forward. Excitement, is definitely there. And I think I'm still in a reflective kind of a mode as to, listening to all of those stories and see, how it is all coming up. Um, so for me, it is, as if I am opening up a new book, and the book has not yet been written. Right? So I am only seeing the first page being written, and and the story will reveal itself as soon as I go flipping through pages. That's how metaphorically I'd like to put it, and Roshni will look at that metaphor and say something. But yeah.
Well, let me go next. I'll say I feel a sense of gratitude to all you wonderful people for coming up on this platform today and having this heartfelt conversation. So, uh, there is a sense of gratitude that I have. So that is the emotion that is coming up for me. What about you, Bianca?
I think for me, it's a combination of peace and curiosity. I feel peace in my body right now, and I think it's opening up a space for me to be curious as to how all of this will unfold.
Roshni?
Don't know how to put it in an emotion word, but I think I feel childlike. Um, it is probably a mix of excitement, curiosity, um, calmness, playfulness, everything together. But if I had to just put it in one word, it's childlike, I think. Just so many good things and good people around.
That's you. Preeti, what about you?
I resonate with Roshni that, and Sunil also said, Bianca also said, that calmness, that peace, and that curiosity, it's all there. Along with that, I'm feeling a sense of, that belongingness, that I am here with the people with whom I don't have to, um, I don't have to shy away. I just be with me, like so what I am, who I am. So that kind of peace is with me. That kind of comfort with me. So I don't know how to put that in emotions, but
Love your honesty, Preeti, and I feel so much of. I think I feel privileged that we all somewhere I'm also a part of this wonderful team, and we make you feel so comfortable. So I totally appreciate your honesty. Shrish, what comes up for
Okay,
you?
so what I'm feeling exactly, so a sense of gratitude also of coming across such wonderful people, but a sense of awe, you know, listening to such beautiful thoughts, such so much of goodness all around, so much of positivity that people are trying to bring in other people's life transformation. So it's an awe, it's an appreciation for everybody. They are here in this, and whoever we've come across during our journey as podcasters. I'm feeling this. No other words to explain what
I
I'm feeling actually.
I'm also feeling awestruck at all you wonderful people. Sathish, last but not the least, how do you feel? What do you?
Yeah, I would say passionately curious. For listeners who are wondering where is the guest for today's episode, this is an interesting dimension that we are bringing to our episodes. When we are all coming together and just reflecting on what is going on with our lives, and I'm sure people will be curious to listen to us, and I'm hoping that we can bring many more wonderful conversations throughout the year without missing a single week. And I'm deeply, deeply passionate, and I'm curious. Thank you very much for all the listeners for giving us a patient listening. And nothing much. I'm deeply again grateful for all the support and all the people that has shown up in my life.
Beautiful. So with that, do we call this a day and end the podcast, team?
Yeah, we can go ahead.
Tatastu.
I really enjoyed today's conversation, and we look forward to doing much more of these kind of episodes with other team members as well.
Yes.
And if you're listening, and please subscribe in YouTube, and also please leave a review on Apple Podcast and Spotify as well. Please support us, and these kind of podcasts need to go to the masses. Thank you very much for listening.
So
Thank you,
just a
team.
moment, Sathish, before we all end. The line that is coming in my mind before we end is "Ye dil mange more."
Ye
I
dil
think we'll have
mange
to
more.
translate
That
to
means, yeah.
Bianca, but that's what's coming in my mind.
He says the heart longs for more. The heart asks for more, or there is a longing in his heart for more. And I'm
Amazing.
sure
Desires
that is
for
what
more. The heart desires for more, rather.
I'm sure the subscribers and the listeners would have the same feeling. And with that, we call it a night.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed today's conversation.